Good afternoon. I'm Harry Weinschenk, and today I will be describing or reflecting on one of my CAS activities, in this case, the Doet activity. So I'll start with describing the activity, and it goes as follows. Doet is a national organization that is located in the Netherlands, and it always happens on the 11th of March, and it's sort of a national day, almost like a sort of festival that in which Dutch people volunteer for certain companies or organizations that require help, and you help them. So, for example, we're speaking about animal shelters, daycares, which in my case was I helped at, and on that day we help people that need it, and we do it without expecting any money in return. So in this case, I attended for the Zonnepret child daycare. It is a daycare that is located around sort of between Noorderplassen and Waterwijk, which are two different places in Almere. And what I did there is I helped children, and that sounds very general, but the daycare organized sort of an how do you say, sort of a party day in which parents would come and the children would go there. Even children that weren't on the daycare were also allowed to come, and they organized and arranged a sort of trampolines, like throwing balls and sort of playing soccer. What else? There was food provided for the children, all sorts of things. Just sort of most activity or orientated, but also to provide them sort of with a fun day. And there was even a brass band that played, and which was really fun. And so how does it? Which sort of CAS? Which side did I choose? I chose for this one action and service, because the action and how does it relate to that? Action, it relates in the fact that I had to do a lot of physical work. The things had to be set up, meaning that the sort of the air castle that the children jumped on had to be rolled out, unfolded. All the sort of the attractions had to be set up. The soccer sort of vests on which team, it all had to be sorted out, and that sort of required a lot of physical work, and it was really hot on that day, and so it was actually pretty exhausting. And so that's the first part, sort of the setup and the preparation time for the event, and then also requires sort of the help. So I had to play soccer with the kids. I was just running with them. They were playing hide and seek at one point. Providing them with water, because that's really important. They have to be hydrated at all times because they're small and it was really hot. So that's how it's related to action. And I also chose service because I'm serving my community in a way that it's a very sort of local daycare, and they can really use all the help they can. Not only did they promote this event on Facebook to also attract new children, because a daycare, relies on children. And so by promoting and sort of creating enough promotion and giving these children a fun day, that creates sort of the mouth-to-mouth promotion that this daycare needs. Meaning that if the kids and the parents or the kids have a good time, they explain it to their parents, and then the parents again sort of spread the word about this place. So that's one bit. So some of the challenges that I expected from this activity was sort of the whole interaction part with the children, because they are really small. I mean, I'm not entirely sure what age category they were, but according to me, there were children between like 2 and 3 up till even 5 at some stage. It's even 6 because not every kid was actually on the daycare. Also, other like little brothers, big brothers, they also came and just had a good time, but mostly small kids. So one of the difficulties that I expected was sort of the interaction part, in which I'm trying to say that kids can be very sort of playful, which is a good thing at most times, but it can also be very sort of energy consuming, because they don't tend to sort of pay attention to what you're saying. And in some games, for example, at the air castle, or the sort of the thing that blows up, there are certain rules that have to be followed, such as a maximum amount of kids are allowed on the trampoline, or the air castle, because if you have too many, children will fall off and they can actually hurt themselves pretty bad. Shoes are not allowed, because they jump around and they can hit or stand on each other, and it also makes the castle really dirty. That's really important, and especially afterwards, so that when the event was finished, we sort of released the air and we let the castle sort of collapse. And at that stage, it's really important that there are no children at any moment, because the rubber or the textile is really heavy, and if any kid is under that at the castle at that moment, it can be really harmful. So, but the kids weren't always listening, explaining activities, they weren't listening at all, which could be very confusing or annoying. You had to explain and explain and explain. I was at one point, I was a referee as well for the soccer team, and sort of they were not listening to me at all. When it was for the blue team, they would still go for the red team, and I had to be very sort of keep sort of my composure and not freak out or anything. But it went well. I thought it would be a challenge, but it was less of a challenge than I expected. I still managed to do very well. The kids were really nice, don't get me wrong. And so that was really good. As far as the planning is concerned for this activity, so what you're supposed to know about this day. There's no sort of notification that comes from the school that tells us, NL Doet is coming up. Please sign up. No, you have to know that from yourself, or you have to, it has to be a coincidence that someone tells you. But I knew it because I did it last year as well for an animal shelter. So I already knew about this day, and I knew I wanted to sign up because I had such a good experience last year. So I signed up. You can sort of browse. It's like a shop, but then for activities. So I browsed through the website. I found the Zona Pret daycare activity, and it never like specifies what exactly the activity will be most of the times. So that was, in this case, it was sometimes it is, like last year, but now it wasn't. So I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do. But when I turned up, it was all clear. And you sign up and you get in contact and you get sort of a confirmation, because there is a limited amount of people that can sort of attend to that activity. Sometimes not, sometimes it is. So that was really easy, and I got an email saying it was okay, and I got sort of confirmation. And afterwards, when you've completed the activity, they again send you an email what you thought about the activity and whether you would like to give any feedback on the activity itself, or no, not the activity, but on your experience with NL Doet. So the team, I wasn't the only one. I was with a classmate from my class, and just other random people that also signed up, and it was all good. They were nice people. So as far as the learning outcome of this, as far as the learning outcomes that I've sort of marked for this activity, the first one will be identifying own strengths and develop areas for growth. So the way that goes into place is that first the identifying part. Um, I was always told that I was good with children, but when people tell you, you don't always see that. But by spending an entire day with children, and getting that feedback from the parents, thank you for providing our child with such a nice day. Just the kids being positive, they wanted to hug me, uh, just they were really positive. They wanted to be around you. They look up to you. And after this activity, I really saw that indeed my strengths are with interacting with people and children in particular as well. And just being positive can also be a strength. And it just gave me a great feeling overall. And it developed new areas for growth as well, because it helped me stimulate my interaction skills with children, which was really good. But also just developing sort of more of a awareness of how important these activities in these days are. So the second learning outcome that I've marked is demonstrate that challenges have been undertaken and developing new skills in the process. So challenges that have been undertaken are as follows. As I mentioned before, the biggest challenge was keeping calm and during the entire day and staying positive, but also setting up everything was difficult, was challenging, but it wasn't that bad after all. It developed me. It made me more conscious about how important Doet is, and it really sort of helped me push myself and stay focused, and just keeping in mind what what you're doing for someone else, and that really gave me sort of a satisfaction. So the third one would be demonstrate how to initiate a plan and plan a CAS activity. So that is sort of the first part, is knowing when you have to signing up, having or getting emails, and setting a date and when, communicating when you are gonna be there, and just putting it on ManageBack, sort of putting everything on time, and providing all the evidence, which is also really important, because the evidence that I will be providing is not only I've screenshotted all the emails, which will be uploaded, but also have actual pictures like you're always supposed to do from the activity. So when I was there and when I helped all the children, that was really that was that. So the fourth one is showing commitment and perseverance in the CAS experiences. Working 4 hours straight, because we didn't get any break, because it was only 4 hours, unless you needed one, which I didn't, because I'm young and I don't need that, and they just need my help. They can use all the help they can get. So I think that's perseverance. Working, showing actual work, helping them, and just doing the work. That is perseverance. And commitment as well, because I really, I didn't just, I wasn't just there and did nothing. I really helped them, and just, I really tried to participate and contribute to this greater cause. And then the last one is demonstrate the skills and recognize the benefits of working collaboratively. That is sort of working with a team. I think there were around like 8 people, women and females and males, and we had to work together, especially in the preparation time when we had to set everything up. We had to sort of, because for example, the castle was brought in with like a little van. We had to get it out, get it in back again afterwards. The food had to be prepared. You have to work together really. We had to carry heavy things, which was, it all required teamwork. And those are the learning outcomes. And apart from the IB, what you can mark as your learning outcome. What my personal sort of intake or sort of gainings are from this is that um, I'm again reminded of how important it is to help people and how easily you can help people with uh, helping them for 4 hours only. It seems like a small thing, but actually you're doing them a great favor. I didn't know, I did know from last year, but it's always good to be reminded of that, and it just gives you a great feeling. And not only do you help them, but you're eventually helping yourself as well. Because what I'm trying to say is that you grow as a person. You really do. I mean, it sounds cliche, it sounds cheesy, but you do. Um, just getting the satisfaction, getting the it was a good, and I think the activity was a definite success, and I would highly recommend it to everyone. Not only this activity, because I'm not sure whether they're gonna do it next year. I probably think it will, because it was such a success. But and I'll do it in general. It's just a great day to help people, and it's so easy to sign up. It's just one day. I mean, on a regular day, I don't do anything important unless homework or maybe exercising. But spending just giving up one day to help another group of people, or even a company that really, they're mostly companies that do other things for people, like animal shelters, daycares, like mental hospitals, elderly care. They're always help, and just not always. This one day is sort of made up for them to not always have a rough time, and that gives you a really good feeling. And I'm happy to do it again. And even though I won't be having CAS next year, I'm highly positive that I will again sign up for Anal Doet next year. I would like to thank you for listening to my reflection. This was Harry Weinschenk on April 3rd, 2017, and this was the CAS activity Anal Doet. Thank you and goodbye.